Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble. So today is Top 5 Wednesday, and if you did not know, Top 5 Wednesday was a Goodreads group that was created by Ginger Reads Lady, and I will link both of those things down below if you would like to join. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is Top 5 Reading Habits, and I had no idea what this meant at all, and so I looked it up to get some examples, and I saw that there was a reading habits tag that was created by the Book Jazz, which is a channel that no longer exists, sad face. So I wasn't tagged by anybody, obviously, and I'm horrible at coming up with my own things, so I'm just going to do the tag and have that be my Top 5 Wednesday. So yeah, let's get started. I have no idea what any of these questions are. I did not do research before doing this video. I literally just looked it up and started filming. So let's get started. Question number 1 is, do you have a favorite place in your home that you like to read? And my favorite place to read is on my bed. I just get a bunch of pillows and I cover up, and it's really cold in my room, and I just read there. That's pretty much it. I really don't like reading anywhere else, but I mean, if I had to pick a place, it would be my bed, but I'll read anywhere. I read at lunch and at dinner. If I'm not eating with anybody, I'll read on the bus. If I'm going somewhere, just anywhere. I just like to read anywhere. My favorite is my bed. Question number 2 is, do you use a bookmark or a random piece of paper? And both. I would rather use a bookmark, but if I have nothing around, I'll use a random piece of paper, or I'll dog ear my pages. But don't tell anybody on BookTube that. Question number 3 is, can you stop reading, or do you have to stop at a certain place, like the end of a page, chapter, or paragraph? And both. Like, if I'm right there at the edge of a paragraph or a page or a chapter, then I'll stop there. But if I'm like, sometimes I read at night and I'm just dog tired, I'll just stop reading right then and go to sleep. And usually the next day I'll start at the beginning of the page, just so that I know that I read what I needed to. So if I don't stop at a certain point, then I'll read the whole page again just to make sure. But if not, then yeah, I'll stop at the end of a page or chapter or anything like that. Usually if I am aware of I'm not half asleep and I look to see how many pages is to the end of the chapter, then I'll read to the end of the chapter. But it just depends. On what I'm doing or how fast I need to stop reading. Sometimes I'm reading and then I just need to like leave, so I just stop where I am. But if I have time and I'm coherent enough, then yeah, I'll stop at a certain point. I don't know what question we're on. I think we're on like 4 or 5. I don't know. We're just going to stop with the numbers now. But the next question is, do you eat or drink while reading? And yes, I do eat or drink while reading. I drink most of the time, but when I'm sitting down to lunch or dinner or breakfast and no one's eating with me, I always read. I'm pretty good about not getting food or drink or anything on my food. The one time that I did, one of my Pendragon books is water damage, but that was an accident, and I don't remember how it happened. I think the box that we were moving in got wet, and it just happened to be in there. But there's only been one time where I spilled drink on a book, and it was a library book, but I was able to like. It wasn't that much, and I was able to dry it really quick. And it was actually my cat. My cat was on the counter and knocked over my cup that had some water in it and got it on a library book. And that's the only time I've ever like ruined. Now, it wasn't even ruined because I was able to like dry it really fast and it wasn't that much water. That's the only time I've ever like spilled food or water on my book. Next question is, when you read, can you listen to music or watch television? And no, not really. A habit that I really have started doing and I really enjoy doing is reading during commercials. And what I'll do is I'll mute the television. But I cannot read while there is sound going on. I can't read when I'm in a room with a bunch of people. I can't read when there's loud music or when the TV's going or anything like that. So I'll read, if I'm reading at night and I'm watching television, I'll read during the commercials and I'll just mute the television. Next question is, do you read one book at a time or multiple books at a time? And I read one book at a time. The only exception to this is my bathroom book. I have a book that I keep in the bathroom, and I only read it during those moments of the day where I am spending time in the bathroom. And But other than that, I only read one book at a time. I attempted to read several books at a time when I first started like reading as a hobby in like July of last year, and it just did not work out. I ended up reading only 1 or 2 books a month, and then I was still in the middle of like 5 or 6 books. But once I started reading one book at a time and just reading it and getting it finished and starting another one, I started reading a lot more, and it was easier for me to keep track of the stories and the characters and things like that. So yeah, just one book at a time. Next question is, do you read at home or everywhere? And I can read everywhere and anywhere. I read at the library, I read on the bus, which is hard because it's a bit distracting sometimes if people are being rude and loud and stuff. But I read at the doctor's office. I read anywhere that I have a moment. Whatever book that I'm reading at that specific time, I put it in my purse and I take it everywhere with me. I read in the car, on the way somewhere. Every moment that I have, just like those in-between times, I call it, like when you're not actively doing something, I am constantly reading. Just like said earlier with the commercials. If I want to watch television, that's fine. I can watch television, but during the commercials, I mute it and watch television. Even with books, or even with TV shows or movies that I DVR, I don't fast forward through the commercials. I read during them. That helps a lot. If you guys want to know how to read more, but you don't want to give up your television life, just read during the commercials. Next question is, do you read out loud or silently? And the majority of the time I read silently, but sometimes I feel like I can appreciate a story more, especially classics, if I read out loud. Sometimes I find myself distracted by something else. My mind is going a million other places and I can't really concentrate on what I'm reading. So I read out loud at that point and that really helps me. But the majority of the time I read inside my head. But if I need to concentrate more or I feel like I need to understand what I'm reading a bit more, then I'll read out loud. Next question is, do you read ahead or skip pages? And yeah, I do. I hate myself for it too. What I mostly do, which is ridiculous, I don't know why I do it, and I hate doing it because I usually I feel like I missed something, so I go back and I read it anyway. I skip areas that are not dialogue. So if there's like a big dialogue moment going on where two characters are talking, especially major characters, I will skip the in between of the dialogue and just go straight to dialogue, and I hate it so much. Especially if I'm reading a book that I'm just not enjoying, I will skip or skip pages or something like that. A book that I'm rereading too, I'll skip stuff if I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this is. I'll skip it. But not much. Only a couple paragraphs or a page, maybe. But yeah, I do, and I hate it. I wish I gotta stop that. I feel like that's a bad habit, and I shouldn't do it. The next question is, do you break the spine or try to keep it new? And I really try to keep it new, but there are some books that are just not floppy enough, and sometimes it's just gotta happen. I hate it. I really, really hate it. But if I can't, like, if the spine is so like tight that I can't like see all the words, and you just gotta open it up a bit more and break it a little bit, which is horrible because I hate it, which is why I like floppy books. But I really, really try to not break the spine if I can't. I really try hard not to. Next question is, do you write in your books? And no, I don't write in my books. Nope. Just can't do it. I don't see the point in it either. If I want to take notes on it, I have like a reading notebook that I write stuff on about. And most of my books that I get from the library, so I can't write in them anyway. Oh, and that was the last question apparently. So that is the what was this again? The reading habits tag and my top 5 Wednesday for reading habits. I feel like I don't have very many like unique habits or anything like that, which is why I did this tag. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas, or if you have any questions about my reading habits, let me know down in the comments. Jenna Reed Laney actually gave like an example of one of the habits that she does, and that's whether or not she likes paperback or hardcover books. And I don't mind either way. If I read a hardcover, I just take the dust jacket off and like I stick it on the bookshelf. But hardcover, paperback, it doesn't really bother me. I buy a paperback a lot more just because it's more cost effective for me. But I like both, and that's all I can say about my reading habits. I couldn't come up with anything by myself. So I hope you enjoyed the tag. I hope you enjoyed this Top 5 Wednesday. If you did, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!